Help me reach 1,000 subscribers. Please, like the video and share your thoughts. In the comments, your feedback helps. Make the content better. I still remember the smirk on her face when I walked to the door that evening. The kind of smirk that said, "We won." My mother stood by the kitchen counter, arms folded, her bracelet clinking softly against the marble. "Welcome back, traveler," she said, her tone soaked in smug satisfaction. "Guess what? Your car finally did something useful." My stomach twisted. "My car?" I asked, already knowing what she was about to say. Her grin widened. "We sold it. Got a great deal, too. Your sister's in Santorini right now, living her best life. Thanks to you." Then came her laugh. Cold, triumphant. It cut deeper than I wanted to admit. I smiled back slowly, deliberately. "Really?" I said evenly. "That's great." Her brow furrowed. "What's so funny?" I leaned against the doorway, hands tucked into my pockets. "Because the car you sold wasn't mine." Her smile froze. It's strange how betrayal feels when it comes from the people who raised you. It doesn't burn like heartbreak. It festers quietly, like rust beneath paint. That car wasn't just metal and wheels. It was mine. I spent 3 years building from scratch. Weekends buried in grease and tools. Every bolt tightened with my own hands. Every upgrade paid for with my savings. It was the first thing I ever truly owned. My father said it was a waste of time. My mother called it childish. My sister called it cute. I called it freedom. Before leaving on a business trip that could change everything, I parked the car at my parents' house. Just for a week. That was my mistake, trusting them with the keys. 2 days into the trip, the first sign appeared. My sister's Instagram, champagne, ocean views, luxury luggage. I knew her debts. She couldn't afford that life. The caption read, "Finally, life is good. Family love wins again." My stomach sank. I called. No answer. Texted. Left on read. By day 3, I knew something was wrong. My father, the so-called moral compass, had suddenly blocked me from viewing the garage security feed. My mother brushed me off. "Focus on work," she said. By day 4, the truth was plain. My car insurance had been canceled. I didn't explode. I didn't scream. I just smiled, because I'd been waiting for this. What they didn't know was that the car sitting in their garage wasn't the real one. 3 months earlier, I'd sold the actual sports car quietly to a collector for 3 times its value. The vehicle they thought they sold was a perfect replica. Identical color, same details, clone VIN, but worthless beneath the hood. Inside it, I'd installed a GPS tracker, a dash cam uploading to the cloud, and most importantly, a legal clause in the title that defined any unauthorized sale as fraudulent transfer of stolen property. They had no clue. So when my mother gloated about selling it to fund my sister's vacation, I already had every piece of evidence ready. 2 hours later, while they were still toasting their victory, I contacted the buyer, an unsuspecting businessman. I introduced myself, sent him the VIN report, proof of ownership, and all documentation of fraud. Within 30 minutes, he'd filed a complaint. By the time I finished dinner, the police were knocking on my parents' door. The look on my mother's face when she opened it, priceless. Shock, panic, the way her voice shook as she tried to explain. It was our son's car. The officer turned to me. "Sir, you're the legal owner, correct?" I nodded. "Yes," and I never gave permission to sell it. That night, my sister called from Greece, screaming. Her cards were frozen, her funds traced. The car money seized pending investigation. My parents were summoned for questioning. Family financial fraud and identity misrepresentation. I didn't have to lift a finger. The law handled everything. 6 months have passed since. The once bustling house feels quiet now. My sister's home, broke and bitter. My parents live off meager pensions. The rest locked away in restitution. Sometimes I visit, not for them, but to remind myself how easily trust can be destroyed and how easily I rebuilt from the ruins. They still don't realize I planned it all along before they betrayed me. Truth is, I stopped being their obedient son the night I overheard my mother whisper to my sister, "He'll always come back. He's weak for us." That night, I decided I never would. So when she sneered that day, saying, "Thanks to your car, our daughter's living her best life," I wasn't angry. I was entertained, because I already knew how the story would end. When she asked, "What's so funny?" I smiled and said, "Because the car you sold was already gone." Her lips trembled. "What do you mean?" I stepped closer. "You didn't sell my car," I said quietly. "You sold your own freedom." She didn't laugh after that.